What did we find through here? Did the stand-up technique kind of seem to work? What was the best option?
I felt fine both, actually.
Who felt better sitting after the first roller and then kind of like seat bouncing almost off the next one? 102, that worked best for you maybe? 995, better for you? Who felt better just standing all the way through the first two and then sitting once we got down there? Who didn't sit at all, period? Okay, so Griff, the next step of progression for you would be to sit kind of where, see where the green flag is? So if you jump and then kind of land in that area, you want to sit for that first part because it's going to save energy, first of all. Second of all, it's going to put more traction to the rear tire. For those of you that are jumping and then landing and trying to stay standing up, it's a lot of energy because you're trying to pull yourself and hold yourself forward, but you're also taking a lot of traction off that back tire when you're just trying to get up to speed. Hey guys, before we get back to this video, Element, I'm drinking it today. I drink it every day, morning, night, whether I'm working out, whether I'm just hanging out, whether I'm podcasting. It has all the electrolytes that you need, nothing that you don't need. No sugars, no artificial flavors like the other junk has. I'm a chronic cramper, so for me, having the proper electrolyte powder to drink throughout the day is critically important. I will get Charlie horses to the point where I can't even walk and my whole body will seize up. Go to drinklmnt.com/AJCat330 where you can try 8 of their flavors for free with your order. They're a huge supporter of our channel. Show them some support. You can't buy it in stores, so make sure you go to that link, drinklmnt.com/AJCat330. Rule of thumb is you almost, even if it's rough, there's a lot of situations where you're going to sit to accelerate coming out of the corner to get up to straightaway speed. That's why a lot of people would look at me and go, well, AJ, why am I standing there? Because the corner's done with. In fact, I stood the whole corner. Why am I sitting for the first part of the straightaway? And it's because you're trying to get up to straightaway speed and then you can stand. And what that does, it'll make a really natural standing too, because once you reach your almost plateau of your straightaway speed, your butt will just naturally sort of lift off the seat. If you're still trying to get to straightaway speed and accelerating, what do you think that sitting to standing position feels like? It feels like a pull to get yourself up. Does that make sense? Right? That's why you see any fast guy come out of this section and you're going to see them sit for that whole first part. Yeah.
How would I deal with the kicker coming off that jump? If I'm in that line and I'm going to hit that kicker, how would I deal with that and still clear the jump?
It's unfortunate. Well, there's a couple options, and a lot of which I probably wouldn't want you to take. One would be I scrub that kicker. So if you scrub hard, you kind of push through the kicker, and that's one way to deal with it. I wouldn't really give you that advice. You can use the kicker as sort of like a kicker. You could preload it and ramp up the throttle as you preload it. You're going to go to the moon, which a lot of you guys were. Some of you guys were jumping that. I'm like, oh my God, you're going so high.
That's me. I'm basically hitting that every time because I want to be on the outside without cutting over.
Yeah.
Trying to hold my line. There's about a tire width line to the right of the kicker that you can hit between the track marker and the kicker.
Yeah, there's track space over there that doesn't have kicker for sure, and I think you can see it. It's really obvious when you're coming up to that jump face where the kicker is versus where it isn't. That's a big part of jumping for you guys as well, is being able to recognize what the heck the jump face is looking like. I think too many people, especially inexperienced jumpers, just go right up the middle, whether they're hitting a kicker or rut or not, they don't really know, and they just keep doing it anyway. It's like move around a bit, try to look far enough ahead so you can see what you're approaching. Like same thing for this tabletop. You can see there's like the crater kind of in the middle right. Yeah, I'd probably avoid that just to be safe. Like everything else, the right side looks a little steeper than the left. It's subtle, but you can see that difference. Right side's a little steeper. Every jump face has characteristics to it that you can read and figure out. What I will say is as we session this, group 2, you might want to come out of that rut early enough. Did you guys, anybody experiment in that group with going in the rut and staying in it versus getting out of it? Did you just go in it every time? Did you go in it every time? The problem with you going in it too is it looks jarring, and also it's setting you up so when you jump and land, you're almost in the embankment to the right, and then you're having to turn around a straightaway. So this, and all of these conversations are relevant to, fast guys or slow guys, doesn't really matter. You need to think about what the section is that's coming up next. So I don't care, because motocross, it's a constant compromise. If we're coming through here and thinking that this is the fastest option riding this rut, but yet we're jumping and landing over here. Look, this line makes no sense. Landing here, then we got to bow back around the main line. Not only are you bowing around it, but you're going through the rough stuff. Where if we can use this as a pivot point, right here, perfect rut, nice hold, good moisture. Use this to pivot. We miss the kicker in the rut here, and then guess what? We land, and it's a straight shot, and by the way, a straight shot, and nobody's ridden there yet.